Here are 3 disturbing true horror stories associated with lakes, where the serene waters conceal shocking depths and unsettling happenings. Story 1. The vanished vacationers in the summer of 1925. A family of 5 set out for a rustic vacation near Clear Lake in California. They were excited to spend time at their lakeside cabin, enjoying swimming, fishing, and hiking. And by nightfall, frantic friends reported them missing to local authorities. Just as hopes began to dim, a team of divers searching the lake discovered the overturned boat and the lifeless bodies of the children, clinging to each other beneath the surface. Dark waters had claimed their young lives. The atmosphere turned eerie when one of the campers, named Josh, began to feel an overwhelming sense of dread. He noticed strange ripples on the lake the next day while swimming. Josh abruptly screamed and swam frantically back to shore, claiming he had seen a figure rising out of the depths. He refused to go near the water again, and the mood soured. In the late 1950s, the government flooded a valley to create the lake, drowning entire towns, homes, and lives under the water. The couple decided to rent a small rowboat to enjoy a romantic evening on the water. However, as darkness enveloped the lake, they found themselves increasingly disoriented. The fog rolled in thick. In a panic, they swam towards the distant flicker of lights on the shore. When they finally reached safety, they looked back, forever haunted by that night of terror and the knowledge that the lake held secrets that should have remained buried. To this day, stories circulate of others who have encountered the lake's dark forces, claiming that Lake Lanier is not just a destination for fun, but the resting place for lost souls, who cannot escape its cursed waters, only to see the surface of the lake receding eerily, leaving nothing but an unnerving calm behind. The once familiar shoreline disappeared. Every direction led to a feeling of utter isolation. Legends began to swirl about the cursed nature of the lake, with visitors reporting strange occurrences and accidents, and the couple felt a growing anxiety, as if they were being watched. Suddenly, a chilling shriek pierced through the darkness. Initially, they thought it was someone in distress. But as they turned towards the sound, they were met by a haunting figure rising from the water, ghostly reflection of a woman who had perished in the lake decades earlier. Even though the wind was still, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was lurking beneath the surface, but the woman's cries resonated in their ears, drawing them dangerously close to the lake's depths. Their rowboat capsized, throwing them into the freezing water, and as they struggled to stay afloat, they could feel hands pulling them down. It was as if the waters themselves were retaliating for the lives lost. As they sunbathed on the shore, they noticed an unusual number of boats and people in distress on the water. It struck them as odd, but they brushed it off, thinking they were simply witnessing the typical chaos of a holiday weekend. Josh wandered off toward the lake in a trance-like state, perplexing his friends. But Josh was never found. Locals whispered of the lake's dark magic and the spirits that trap souls who venture too close. The group left Okanagan Lake haunted by the eerie events, forever marked by the night they lost a friend to the depths, never to glimpse him again. They called out for him, but instead of responding, he waded into the water. They rushed to save him, but it was too late. As they reached the edge, they were horrified to see him submerge beneath the surface, vanishing without a trace. He brushed off his fears until he woke up screaming in the middle of the night, claiming he had been dragged underwater in a dreamlike state by a dark presence. The parents had vanished without a trace of mystery that still haunts the community. Initial searches turned up nothing. Family hadn't returned to the cabin, and there were no signs of the boat anywhere on the calm waters of Clear Lake. The first few days were marked by laughter and joy, but on the 4th day of their getaway, the family decided to embark on a fishing trip on the lake with the parents, their 3 children, ages 7 to 12. Some speculated that they may have fallen victim to foul play or met with an accident in the lake's depths. Others noted the eerie folklore surrounding Clear Lake, but some claim it is also home to a sinister force. In 1960, a group of friends decided to camp by the lake. Drawn by its stunning views and the promise of a good time, the first night as they gathered around the fire, they shared stories of local legends, including that of Ogopogo, a mythical serpent said to dwell in the deep waters, suggesting that malevolent spirits dwell beneath its waters, keeping watch over their victims. To this day, the chilling disappearance of the family and the tragic loss of the children remain unsolved enigmas. stirring whispers of despair among those who live near the haunted shores of Clear Lake. Climbing aboard a small boat, its hours passed. The family members remained missing. 6 long days passed without any trace of the family. In the years since, various theories circulated regarding the parents' fate. Story 2. The haunting of the Okanagan Lake in British Columbia is known for its beauty. As they settled in for the night, his friends laughed it off. But the laughter turned to concern when he insisted he felt something pulling at him whenever he went near the water. That evening, as the group prepared to pack up and leave, weeks passed, and search parties scoured the area. Story 3. The cursed waters of Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier in Georgia is a recreation haven for boating and swimming. But behind its beauty lies a dark and twisted history. In the summer of 1990, a young couple decided to spend the day at Lake Lanier, enjoying the picturesque surroundings and the pleasant weather. As the sun dipped below the horizon, moments later, the atmosphere around them shifted. Terrified, the couple began paddling back to shore. Somehow, they managed to break free from whatever had gripped them and clawed their way back to the surface. They never returned to Lake Lanier,